Good morning all, hope you're doing well. This is the COT data video for the week beginning the 6th of May, but don't forget we've got bank holiday in the UK, so I'm going to be away tomorrow, okay, just so you know. And it may be quite a quiet affair in Europe, we'll have to wait and see. Now, the Europe has surged to the downside, but we've ticked up slightly higher, and so this could be a little bit naughty, in so much as that we had the sell set up, but we could theoretically, quite possibly, get a buy set up on the Euro FX or USD. If we get across to the upside, then this could have been a bit of a trap. So we've got to be careful, okay? So that's the Euro and USD being quite stable, and this is now ticked up higher. So let's look at the yen. Don't forget we had a big week on the yen, so this is going to be of note, okay? And we just stopped the free fall. Wow, it's very negative, isn't it? 179,000 to minus 168,000. So very negative, but less negative than the week prior. Okay. So, I mean, we broke these multiple supports, and then we really dumped. So, from a COT perspective, we're still quite heavy on yen. All right. So, we haven't got any crossovers anytime soon because we're miles away. We're really far away, so be careful there, and this could be a trap potentially. Okay, it's not absolutely guaranteed, but it looks a little bit naughty to me. Euro off, Aussie on. Aussie is going up higher, so we had an increase of 101 minus 101 to minus 83, so they have gone long, but at the net level obviously they're still negative. We're still below zero, but it's definitely looking fairly strong there on the Aussie. Okay, Aussie off, pound on. We've got the BOE this week. Also, we've got the RBA as well. I forgot to mention. And yeah, we are a little bit weaker than the week prior. Okay, so we're below zero, and they've increased their bearish bets on pound. But this is likely going to pump or dump on the BOE. So you've got to be careful. And the BOE have also given out a lot of mixed signals as well. So it's been pushing the pound up and down, quite uncertain. So from a COT perspective, fairly negative, but it could easily change pending the interest rate decision and also the press conference as well. I probably won't be sticking around for the press conference this Thursday because they are pretty boring, and it's all right if you're trading the pound. You can get some good ideas going forward because they do present some nice charts at the BOE. But I probably won't stick around and watch it. It can be a little bit boring. CAD on. CAD has surged minus 82. It's done a little bit like the Aussie where we're negative, but we're going a little bit less negative. So we have ticked up higher. Whether or not this is going to continue, we'll have to wait and see. This will be dependent on oil price. Oil has been falling quite heavily, and so obviously we saw some heavy selling on the CAD. Okay, and we've been covering oil on our daily bulletin as well, which is hopefully quite useful. Gold, and we're just still sideways. Yeah, okay, it's just still sideways. It's just really sideways. It's bonkers. 201, 199, 202, 204. So, it is what it is. It's just very sideways. So, likely it's going to be a little bit sandwiched on the price. Likewise, we cover gold every day as well. So, worth tuning into the bulletin if you're trading gold because we look at supply and demand using the retail sentiment. So, nothing really to comment on there. And we're coming to the end of the video now. New Zealand dollar, and that has ticked up higher slightly, but there isn't really much to say there. It's just we are kind of range bound, aren't we? Really, we're just sort of teetering up and down within that range. And then lastly, Swiss franc, and that's it. So hopefully it helps. And don't forget on that sheet we've got the COT data as well, and minus 42 to minus 41. So not that huge moves really from looking at it from a COT perspective. It could be A lot to do with the fact that we had some really heavy selling, and we are looking to sort of stabilize in order to go to the next leg up higher on risk appetite. So it could be the currencies are just waiting for, for a clear idea, clear picture, and then there can be some larger positioning on, the risky currencies and the safe havens and stuff like that. But at the moment, it's a little bit hesitant, and I think it could be potentially because the big fish aren't really sure about the risk appetite right now. Because last week we went from euphoria to fear and then back to euphoria in the single week. So that's based on the technical scores, dumping or pumping, and that also looks at retail sentiment as well. So we are very undecided with risk appetite, and because of that, we haven't seen big positioning on the COT data, and so that explains why we're seeing some sort of sideways stuff going on the COT data there. So hopefully it helps, and we'll be able to see some stuff develop over the week, and then we'll have to see if that Euro USD is a trap or not. Easy peasy, just look at your chart. Looking at the Euro USD chart, it looks fairly constructive, so it could be a trap. So be careful, and I'll speak to you soon. Risk disclaimer, for anything that you do in the financial world is that you will need to use very strict risk management. So if you don't have the risk management in play, you're pretty much gambling, okay? And we really want to be looking at trading, and we want to be looking at risk to rewards. And in order to get a good reward, you need to define your risk. And if you don't know where your stops are, if you haven't defined your risk, then you could end up losing all your capital, okay? So you need to know where your exit is, and then by knowing that, then you can forecast your profit. But if you're entering willy-nilly based on some information that you found on the internet, and you've entered without knowing where your stop is, you're going to encounter huge losses. So just to say is that it carries a huge level of risk, and it may not be suitable for all investors, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay, so it's a quick disclaimer there.